Hello, everyone in our Tri 312 network. Coach Brian here, and have a special guest with us today. We are actually here at Ohio Street Beach on a Tuesday afternoon for our of many open water swim clinics that are being hosted by the SUPERTRI Chicago Triathlon for all of our new triathletes going to the Chicago Triathlon this year. And we have a special guest named Adrian Lam. And say hello, Adrian.
Hi, I'm Adrian.
Yeah. And so we're going to talk to Adrian a little bit about his story and why he's here and why he's participating in the Chicago Triathlon this year. I believe he has a pretty good story, so look forward to hearing more about who you are, Adrian, and why you are doing the Chicago Triathlon. So what brought you here and why the Chicago Triathlon?
So I decided to do the Chicago Triathlon here for two main reasons. So the first one is just simple because my friend kind of dragged me into it last year. But unfortunately, due to some medical conditions, I wasn't able to do it last year. So I'm kind of doing it this year as a little bit of redemption. So number one is because my friend's doing it and we're kind of a competitive friendship, so trying to see who's doing better. I think I can beat him this year. I feel pretty confident.
Yeah.
But I think
we'll be rooting for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But I think the second more important reason is because I'm trying to raise money for the hospital that I was at to treat my pediatric cancer. So I was diagnosed with B-cell lymphoma in August-ish, so right around the race last year. So I wasn't able to participate just because I was just super sick. I was bedridden. I wasn't able to get out of the hospital. I was basically just stuck in the hospital. So I kind of want to do this year because there's a corporate challenge raising money for pediatric cancer research at Lurie Children's Hospital, right over there. We're in Ohio Street, so like that over there, right over there. But I think it's just a great cause in a way that I can help give back to the hospital that I owe my life to, basically.
That's great. Thank you, Adrian. And so going into last year, when you first got talked into doing the triathlon, did you know at that time that you had been diagnosed, or what was that like? And was that like right during the middle of your training and you had to get derailed? And what was your treatment and what was your recovery like?
Yeah, so diagnosing cancer is really hard, especially when you're dealing with like younger people, because most of the time it just goes away because we're young and we have a lot of energy and we'll naturally heal ourselves. That's what all the old people tell you. You're like, you're young, it'll go away.
Yeah.
So given that mindset, all the leading up signs that I had seemed like a no big deal until they got super bad. So like, for example, I had some heartburn, which is like not normal, but like I thought it would just go away after a while. I lost some weight, but I was like, oh, maybe that's because I haven't been playing water polo or swimming in a long time because I just finished the water polo season. Maybe I was just losing some muscle because I wasn't training as intensive. Even though I was training for the triathlon, I wasn't like training super hard. So I was like, maybe the drop in intensity is the reason that I lost the weight.
Sure.
And also I had some hip pain that was like a little weird. I was like, maybe I pulled a muscle. It's just like stuff like that you don't really expect. By the time like of early August, I think August 10th, the symptoms became unbearable, whereas in I couldn't eat anything. Like everything I would eat, I would feel like being stuck in my stomach and like not going anywhere, and I feel like I want to puke it out. It's like my feeling super full all the time, and also the hip pain just didn't go away. It just felt really weird. It was buried inside my hip. Like it felt something was like tight inside, but I couldn't stretch it. It was like a really irritating feeling. So without any other options, like to deal with it quickly, because I'm going to college in like 3 weeks or 2 weeks, my mom's like, all right, we're taking you to the ER. Let's figure out what's wrong with you. So once I head to the ER, they check everything and like, oh, maybe your hemoglobin's a little bit low. So they decide to like admit me to make sure everything's all right because I have some symptoms of something. There's something wrong. So the whole time in the hospital before I was diagnosed, they just like did a bunch of tests. They did an endoscopy because I had a lot of issues with my stomach. They did a CT scan, they did an MRI to see what was there. And they basically found a mass. And they found a mass in the endoscopy and also in the scan. So they took a biopsy of whatever was they found in there. And as they're leading up to diagnosis, they basically, this is cancer. This is not good. So thankfully, but I'm very thankful that it was lymphoma and not some sort of solid cancer because solid cancers have a relatively lower survival rate compared to lymphomas, which is like more of a blood cancer and lymph node cancer, which is more treatable. We have more cures for that. So that's my lead up to it, and very, very, very shortened down as I could get it. So yeah, for you guys to understand.
I mean, I have no concept or understanding of what you would have had to have gone through during that time. And what was your treatment timeline, and are you in remission? Are you cured? Where are you at currently?
So the timeline of my treatment was basically doing 6 rounds of chemotherapy. Like on average, it was like 1 round every month where I'll be like admitted into the hospital, and then did 5 days in a row, chemo. It wasn't fun, but I got through it. All right. If you guys are struggling out there, you gotta take it one day at a time, and then you'll get through. I think that's my biggest advice. If someone we're going through cancer, just take it one day at a time. But I also had some radiation that was painful, wasn't fun. But now, I think after finishing this, I feel like I feel more happy, or feel like I can get more out of life in general. Just since I had a near death experience, and I've learned that my family loves me. We should try to do as much as possible in life, and there's a bunch of things I've learned in the process as well. But speaking of my situation right now, I think right now we're basically just a waiting game to see if anything comes back. All the medicine that I took to attack the cancer should have killed everything. But if there's 1 cell left, or maybe a few cells left, it could come back. Okay. But since I did 6 rounds of intense chemo and radiation, that's really unlikely. Especially for kids, they like to give higher dosage to make sure that none of it ever comes back. If something, even if like 1 cancer cell's left, it can still come back pretty easily. But just given the amount of like treatment and the high dosage of everything I've gotten, I highly doubt that anything will happen. So right now we just wait, do some blood tests, come back to the hospital every few months, and it's just a waiting game for now. So I think I haven't like technically and officially declared remission, but I think I'm in remission. Like I have no longer any symptoms. I gained most of my weight back. I don't have any long lasting effects from it. So I think right now I'm in a pretty good situation.
Cool. Well, I think more than anything else, that is going to help a lot of us continue to root for you for that, but then also going into the Chicago Triathlon this year. So take us through that process. When did your training for this race officially begin, and how has all the things that you've been going through affected your training?
So I guess all the things I've been through just gives me a little extra motivation, especially with like when I was really sick, I was bedridden and I wasn't even able to walk sometimes. And there was a period of time where I was on MPO where I wasn't allowed to drink or eat anything. So all my nutrition was delivered through IV. So it just gives me a second new perspective of being appreciative of what you can have. So especially on the running portion, I'm like, wow. Every time I run, I'm like, oh, this sucks. I don't want to run. But when I think about it, maybe being able to run is a blessing, right? You gotta think of it in a different perspective every time you're training. Especially, it sucks. It's not gonna be fun, but if you get through it, you should be fine. So like kind of a similar mindset I had during when I was really sick. So yeah, so it's just doing it, having a purpose this time, or an extra purpose this time to help raise money, and as well as just being grateful that I am healthy enough to be able to participate in this race.
That's great. And you've now mentioned a couple times the charitable part of this, the raising of the money to help support that amazing hospital that helps with cancer research and help combat childhood cancer. Tell us a little bit more about that with this corporate challenge that SUPERTRI is organizing for the Chicago Triathlon. What is your association with it, and what message would you have to those out here listening about why they should also perhaps participate in this corporate challenge?
I think that what's really important here is the people we are helping. Children, they have a lot more life to live, especially the ones in the hospital. There are definitely cases where on my floor there are newborn babies, or like maybe toddlers, or maybe two like really, really young kids. And if we can help extend their life by maybe 70 years, or give them a full life, or give them a life that they can extend to live like a normal person, I think that would help a lot. I'm not throwing shade at other cancers, but I'm saying that if we can preserve more life, I feel like it's more effective to focus on those targeted treatments that can help extend life for more years and be more effective to last longer. So if we target pediatric cancer, I think we're extending a lot of lives. It's just also really sad in general to see a little kid struggling and going through all this. Like the stuff that I went through with chemo, it is not fun. I don't think if I was maybe 5 years old, I could handle that. That was a lot of nausea, a lot of side effects, just really uncomfortable time. And another part is that when you're given all this chemo, your immune system's suppressed a lot, and there's not a lot of social contact, especially since you aren't even allowed to you're supposed to be avoiding face-to-face contact just so you don't get sick by another virus or another disease. So it's just a lot of isolating, and I think that's a very, very important part of your life, your childhood. So I think this will definitely help the future generation, if that's a good way to put it.
That's right. Thank you so much. And we hope that, again, this is the first time we're really showcasing and putting this type of charitable connection and charitable fundraising effort through the Chicago Triathlon, through SUPERTRI, through this corporate challenge. And I know this is new for a lot of folks here in the Chicagoland area. There are various races that happen throughout the year that have that same sort of like corporate challenge fundraising type of component. So if you are an organization out there in the Chicagoland area and have any of your members, any of your employees or partners that are interested in participating in this corporate challenge and trying triathlon and helping give back and fundraise for an amazing cause to help other adolescents and children with cancer like Adrian here, that can help give them a fuller life, a more complete life than they may have had before, then please consider joining and participating. If not this year, then in the years to come with this great partnership with SUPERTRI and Chicago Triathlon. Adrian, any other parting message, any thoughts that you would like to share with the rest of our audience here today?
I guess what I would like to say, just like another thank you to my hospital, because I think they did so much to me. All the nurses are great. They treat me really well. The doctors understand. They're super experienced. They know what they're doing. And it just really helped a lot to have such a great hospital. For my family too, in such a hard time, because they're super nice to my family. They made sure they got everything, made sure they knew everything, made sure they knew what's going on, giving detailed instructions what to do if this happens, what to do if that happens when I'm not in the hospital. But it just I'm just so thankful to be able to be one of the patients at Lurie to receive such amazing treatment.
That's amazing. And I know for a lot of us out in the world, healthcare in general can be very frustrating and very anxiety inducing. But at the same time, we also can get amazing stories like this one about knowing what the professionals, the doctors, the nurses, all of the support staff, all those that do cancer research, all the positive things that can come out of our healthcare system. So Adrian, thank you so much for being here. We are absolutely going to be rooting for you, and I'm sure a lot of others here will be rooting for you for the Chicago Triathlon. How are you feeling so far 1 month out?
I think that it's going to be hard. I was a swimmer. I did swim team in high school, so the swim portion should be the smoothest part, in my opinion. I'm pretty good at biking. I think I can do it, maybe the bike portion, 40 kilometers, maybe an hour and 20. That's my goal. And the run portion is just going to see how much energy I have left in the tank, because I'm not a runner. I have flat feet. It's going to be tough, but I think I've been training more of that, trying to get better at that recently. So I'm hopeful for that. So my goal time is under 3 hours. So I think let's hold it to that. That's my goal. I think it's very doable, and we'll see you at the triathlon, I guess.
I think that is absolutely doable. That is a great goal to have. And dude, of all the things that you've had to overcome in the last year or so, I think that run at the end of that triathlon will be the least of your worries. And we can't wait to all experience and or see or watch you cross that finish line on that Sunday at the Chicago Tri. So Adrian, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Again, all the best to you, and know that we and many of us are in your corner rooting for you, and wish you all the best and a wonderful Chicago Triathlon experience.
Thank you very much.
Cool. All right. Thanks, man. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.